host of the Gridiron.
All right, baby, welcome to the If you give this video a thumbs up or maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking awesome. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. Where's you, buddy? My buddy Rainey's here. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Description box below, the very top link if you want to help support my channel out. It would mean so much to me. I got 3 different membership levels. The top link, it takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And once again, I thank you in advance. Thank you. And also, just a little ways down in the description box, there's a link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 9,400 members in the group. It's growing all the time. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing and if I got internet access, I am putting stuff in this group darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. All right. Well, it's I think it's November 5th is the trade deadline. So, we got some sell. It's like 6 games in. It's like we're selling already. It's like, man, it's just crazy. Just stone cold crazy, I tell you. It just goes to show you the way it is in the NFL. It's like, one year, it truly is. I mean, what it is, I think it's like 50% of the teams, from like the year before that made the play will not make the playoffs the following year. And it's just, it's like you looked at the Browns last year. It's like, man, they got a defense, they got a running game, they got Watson, if he's out there, they got Flacco, they got Cooper. It's like, man, keep an eye on those Brownies, baby. They look like they're the real deal for years to come. Man, from the penthouse to the outhouse in 1 year, boy. I'll tell you, they're like, I'll tell you what, boy. Probably one of the worst. You got to say one of the worst. Maybe because of the amount of money they gave, all guaranteed. If not one of the, maybe possibly, everybody's got their own opinions, possibly the worst deal in the history of the NFL. I'm sure there'll be some more stupider ones coming along. So, but it just goes to show you, it's like, it's, oh yeah, he's been in trouble with the law and this, that, and like that. 100% guarantee his whole salary. Oh yeah, come on over, buddy. Oh my God. I'm not sure when they can get out of his. Let's take a look here. Let's look at her. Cleveland Browns salary cap here. There we go. Over the cap. I usually just pick Spot Track just for the heck of it. Mari Cooper, he's gone, right? Adams, he went to the Jets, so it's weird. So the Jets picked up, right? The Bills picked up somebody. Now the Jets ain't got no excuses. No excuses. All right, so Watson, let's see. His cap hit this year is only about $28 million. Dead cap, $200 million. Oh, my God. He's going to be a free agent at the 2026. Is that what it is? 2024. 27. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Watson. His cap hit next year is almost $73 million, and it's $73 million. And then when they have a void year on there of another $27 million. Oh my God. Wow. The guy is just playing. I mean, the guy's actually playing worse than Daniel Jones, if you can imagine that. Right? Oh my God. So if they just let him go, they have $73 million next year. Or I don't know, they let it go. It all goes in 1 year or exactly how it works. But next year is capped at $73 million. I don't know who would possibly trade for the guy. I have just no idea. The only one nice thing is that you could look at, is that, they might have to bite the bullet or whatever for the next, 2 years, it's looking like, because then they have a void year on there. Right. Uh-oh. There you go. So it's, with Watson, they got like $73 million in it for absolute trash, because he ain't nothing compared to what he was when he was with the Texans. Oh my God, what an absolute horrible. I mean, you can't. Who's trading for that? So the thing is, if they wind up at least if for the Browns' sake, right? If they wind up, picking in the top 5 or 10 or so, whatever it is, at least they have an offensive-minded coach. They may pick up a quarterback, right? And then, Watson ain't going to groom him. But, maybe the coach can groom him for a year or so. And then after you got 2 more years of Watson, you just let him go. You bite the bullet with the $27 million, whatever is the void year. Right? You bite the bullet on that one. What an absolute horrible deal that is. So nobody's going to possibly want to trade for that trash. Absolute garbage. Oh my God, what a horrible, just absolute horrible. And the thing about it is that they make it fully guaranteed. It's like, well, what if he sucks? You know what I mean? You're paying a guy all this money, or what if he sucks? It's ridiculous. $73 million for absolute garbage. It's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, the short is, this article here, it's kind of like, it got a couple good points in there, but it's a couple of them. It's like, who might be traded, right? Might go before the trade deadline. Now with the Giants now, because once you start selling off things, you're kind of like basically, kind of like telling the locker room, it's like, guys, the season's over with. We blow. We're tanking, right? And just ride the storm out, and thanks for shopping at Kmart this year. So so you just got to be careful with how you start doing that. So Shane's got if he's gonna wind up trading away some assets here. But there are a couple of guys on here that would make some sense. It's kind of like, especially if you really don't see yourself re-signing these guys for next season, get something for them. Right? Get something for them. Now, the one thing is, you got the November 5th, so you got a few more games. So I'm saying we're 2-4. Say the Giants wind up losing the next 3 games, and we wind up like 2-7. Could we still possibly make the playoffs? Sure, if we won the next 8 games in a row or something. But is that going to happen? Probably not. So the thing is that if you get one, one or two of these, a couple of these guys, because a couple of these guys would make sense for other teams. Very valuable positions, so the short is here. It says, exploring 6 New York Giant players and why they will or won't be dealt at the NFL trade deadline. I mean, there's one of these guys. This is just so stupid. I don't even understand. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But the first one makes some sense in a way, but it doesn't make sense. The First one they say here is Daniel Jones, and they say no, he will not be dealt by the trade deadline. You got to find somebody who's going to want him. He's still owed some money. Now, the only thing I could say would be like somewhere along the line, the Giants like wind up eating almost all of his salary. You trade him away and get whatever third day pick for him. Right? If you eat his whole salary or something like that. But here it says, at first glance, financially, you could probably make this work as Jones has no guaranteed money for 2025 or 2026 years on his deal. Okay. However, eat the rest of his salary for this season. So the Giants, I guess, would, we'll pay for, you take Daniel Jones, you give us whatever, a fourth or a fifth or something like that. Right. And we'll eat the rest of his salary and you give us a fifth for next year. Right. However, he does have a significant injury guarantee that might even get him benched further into the 2024 NFL season. That's something we'll have to keep an eye on. $23 million of the 2025 base salary, which is $30 million, is guaranteed for injury at signing, and a season-ending injury that impacts his availability next year could prove very costly. Now, once again, if the Giants just start drifting, down the down the dumper, that's something to keep an eye on with Daniel Jones, because it's like, Shane's kind of like, well, do we want the guy to go out there and perform? Yeah, but do we want him to possibly get injured and then we have to owe him some money next year because he's injured? No. But the elephant in the room has nothing to do with guarantees, etc. For Jones' price tag, there's no NFL team that would be giving up draft picks or players for a quarterback of his caliber. Now, here, this one makes some sense here. Some. They say Jalen Hyatt. Hyatt's role has increased the last couple of weeks, but that's only because Malik Neighbors is not there. The truth is the former Tennessee Vol wide receiver isn't being used by the NFL team that drafted him. With 2 years left on his rookie deal beyond 2024, he's a viable target for any team that was intrigued with his game during the 2023 draft process. He's an inexpensive player, very inexpensive, with upside at highly important position. He's arguably one of the most tradable players on the roster, and the Giants don't seem that interested in keeping him around. I don't know. I don't know what they saw in him. It's kind of like, some of this just doesn't, it's just like, what did you see in him? You traded up to get him. I was at the third and the fifth. They traded up a third and a fifth to go get him with the Rams. Well, other than 5 touchdowns against Alabama, what did you see in him? And so you get him in, we don't need him. Were you hitting a crack pipe when you, what are you doing? So he is a viable, but the thing is, it's kind of like, if he's not, showing that he can be a viable receiver, I don't know who else was going to really want him out there. Maybe might be a team out there, possibly. Might want a little depth on their, maybe give you, a 6th, 7th round pick for the guy or something like that. But he's at a valuable position, and he's got speed. Speed can kill. So, but once again, it's just stuff you got to be careful of, because you start sending messages to the locker room. Hey guys, we're just everything's for sale. Everybody's going. That's not sending a good message to the locker room. So, got to be careful. Now, the next kind of list makes a lot of sense, in a way, right? Right now, he's one of your most valuable guys, but he does make some sense, which would wind up being, unfortunately, sadly, if you don't think you're going to re-sign him for next year, trade him whatever, and get something in return for him. Azeez Ojulari, right? Now, he's obviously one of the most important guys on the roster right now. I mean, to help win football games because of his edge rush. And we saw what he did against the Bengals. And he actually could have even had 3 sacks, right? Because Burnsy's banged up with a groin. If we give him some, hopefully, and hopefully he'll be able to go against the Eagles. We'll have to wait and see. But Kayvon's going to be out for a little while. So Azeez is a very important part of the Giants right now. Dexy has a hip. We're going to go over this. Burnsy's got a groin. Kayvon's got a wrist. I mean, it's like the whole front wall is like all banged up. So Azeez is, very important part. But I mean, if Shane doesn't have, doesn't want to or doesn't think he's going to try to re-sign him, or doesn't think he'll want to resign, whatever. Because as of right now, you got Kayvon and you got Burnsy. So that means Azeez is a backup. He may not want to be a backup. He might want to be a starter. And on other teams, he might be a starter. So he might go where maybe not so much where the grass is greener, shall we say, but he might want to go where there's more playing time. So whether or not Shane might want to sign him back or he may not want to come back if he's not going to be starting. And there's no indication he's going to. I mean, we got Kayvon. Because remember, Shane didn't draft Azeez, right? That was the Judge era, right? So Azeez may not come back. Unfortunately, it's a shame because having the third edge rusher is huge. Unfortunately, the third, not the first, not the second, not the 2 guys starting, but the third guy can get a little irritated. He's like, I'm pretty good, and I'm on the sideline. I'm not liking that. Same thing with Isaiah Simmons. It's like, dude, I'm a freak of an athlete, this, that, and the other thing. You brought me back, and I'm standing on the sideline drinking Kool-Aid. Why am I not playing defense? So this might be the same thing once again with Isaiah Simmons. He may not want, it's like, I wouldn't mind coming back, but you said Shane Bowen said I was going to be like a money backer. I was going to be on the field all the time. First, second down, maybe in the slot. He said this on Hard Knocks, and third down money backer. Well, first, second, and third down, I'm on the sideline. Fourth down, I come in and I play special teams. That's all you got me doing for the most part. So Isaiah Simmons may not want to come back. But anyway, Azeez Ojulari, former second-round pick. Ojulari will be hitting free agency next year. He's played in 42.9% of the team's defensive snaps. And with Brian Burning and Kayvon Thibodeau on the team, it seems like he won't be getting a promotion anytime soon. Now, he also has played 42.9% of the snaps because, last week, against the Bengals, that percentage bumped up because he was the starter. But basically, he was playing maybe like a third of the snaps. So, for somebody who wants to be a starter, he's only basically the first 5 games, and he was playing like maybe a third of the snaps. That doesn't sit well with him. Then in this article here, they got Brian Burns. I have no idea. This is from AZ Sports. It's a nice article and all, but Brian, what? Why do you put Brian Burns on here? Would they trade Brian for what? They just went out and gave him all this contract and this. I mean, what do you trade Brian Burns? We got Kayvon and we got Brian Burns. We got 2 edge rushers, right? We need. If Azeez ain't coming back, we do need to get it. We got to add to that front defensive wall. We gotta next year, early in the draft. Got to get somebody. Then they put Dexter Lawrence. I have no idea. Why would you basically almost your best player? Basically, he's your best, especially he's your best defensive player. Why? I don't know, Dexter Lawrence. But the last guy on this list does make some sense here. All right. Once again, it's the same thing here. If you don't see yourself, re-signing a guy. Now, this one's a little bit of a toss-up because, it's Darius Slayton. So this one, once again, is a toss-up. It's like, Well, we have Slayton, who's been, on the team for a long time. He came in, obviously, the same year with Daniel Jones and Sexy Dexy, right? But it's like with him, it's like, well, do we want to, get rid of him and leave us with Jalen Hyatt, who we may not put on the field? The problem is that, Jalen Hyatt, after he was a free agent, he wants to get paid. Nobody's going to pay him $20 million a year, but, he's only getting $6 million a year with the Giants. And he's going to want to, go with it once again. The grass is a little greener. So the thing is that, to the Giant, he's on the field. So he's getting some playing time, which is cool. But he wants to get some playing time. And once again, because, this is his sixth season. He's not going to be playing for 37 years. He only has so many more years left in him. And one of his biggest assets, really, is his speed. And, maybe he was a 4.3 guy, 4.3 up, 4.38, 4.39, whatever it was, so many years ago. Well, in a few years from now, he's not going to be 4.39. He's going to start losing some of that. That's his biggest, biggest bonus that he has going for him is his speed, right? So he's going to want to go. He wants to get a payday, and he hasn't really gotten a payday yet. He got to pay. You got to pay 2 years. So he made like $12.5 million or 12.7, something like that. He's got some incentives this year but he's not meeting those incentives. Not with this offense. We're scoring 1 point a game. He's gonna meet some incentives. He ain't meeting nothing this year. No incentives. So he's gonna want to at least get one nice, something from a team. So the thing is like that the Giants, what do they do? Did they ante up some money for Darius to try to keep him here? Or do they let him go and save themselves some money and hope that Jalen works himself into a starting role? Who knows? But so Darius Slayton could be a possible. So for what it's worth, Wan'Dale Robinson can also take this spot. Wan'Dale Robinson, where do these people get this stuff from? However, Slayton will hit free agency. Why would you trade Wan'Dale Robinson? This article is so stupid. Slayton will hit free agency in 2025, which makes him a much more viable candidate. Yeah, he's not. I ain't coming back. So if you don't think he's coming back, or you're not going to re-sign him or anything like that, trade him. The way you get whatever. A 6th rounder back for him or something, late, a third day pick for him, get something in return for him instead of just letting him hit free agency. Right? Slayton has had some issues with drops this season, but is still a productive wide receiver. Many contender teams could look at for a wide receiver 3 type role. So. Some of it's just, especially with the Z's and Slayton, they're gone. A good chance they might be gone after this season, especially if you have no, if Shane has almost no inkling of re-signing these guys, it may not be a bad idea to try to trade them if you can and get something in return for them. 6th round pick, a 7th round pick. Get something in return for him. As I said, the other one could be, I kind of maybe a little way, Jalen Hyatt. If you see no progress from the guy, if other teams know what he did against obviously Alabama, but of course the other teams are going to want to well, how come he's not on the field? Why have you guys, So if you get rid of him, the one enticing thing about him is he's still on his rookie deal for another 2 seasons after this year. So if another team were to take him this year, they'll have the final half of this season, another 2 seasons where he'll be really, really cheap and he's fast. And if they gave up a 7th round pick for him, they gave up a 7th round pick for somebody who's really fast. Now, once again, maybe if he goes to another team, they maybe have another coach or another system or whatever. He might prosper in it. That's possible. So I mean, if Shane they don't think he's progressing enough, it's like, well, he's trying, but he's not grasping it or whatever the case is. It's a possibility, but as I said, the one thing is that you got to be very, very careful, like with Shane. Once you start jettisoning your players, it's like you're sending a message to the rest of the team, and so you got to be very, very careful with that. Very, very careful.